Welcome to the beautiful downtown Chattanooga. Today we're going to explore a few areas downtown that people from here and people that travel to the area love to visit while they're here. Come take a look. All the time we've got people asking us, what's it like to work, live, have fun, hang out, eat in Chattanooga? Please click the subscribe button below to stay tuned for more. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to be notified for upcoming videos. We got a lot more to come, excited for you to come along for the ride. So behind us here is the Tennessee Aquarium. That building there is the River Journey. And then more recently is the Ocean Journey over there. Some people call it the Ocean Adventure. It's a pretty wild place. Let me take you a little tour around the outside. Come on. So what's neat about the River Journey building is that it takes you through a lot of the different ecosystems of the local rivers. So Tennessee River, rivers in the Appalachian Mountains, that kind of thing. And it shows you all the wildlife that lives there, ton of fish. They've got a cool river otter exhibit and snapping turtle exhibit. Tons of really cool stuff in here. It is super kid friendly. A lot of times you'll see kids running up, putting their hands and face on the glass. Not advised, by the way, but I highly recommend you visit the spot. And if you have any questions, let me know. Now in this building, this is the Ocean Journey building. And what's pretty cool about it is that it explores all of the ocean life and all the ocean ecosystems, I guess you could say. Now in here you've got a penguin exhibit, you've got a killer butterfly garden and the really cool peaks above. There's a huge glass room up there. It's just nothing but hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of butterflies. So some interesting information about the Tennessee Aquarium. When it came to Chattanooga, it was part of a huge initiative to revitalize the riverfront, what they call the waterfront area here in downtown Chattanooga. Now, this kind of started the revolution, right, downtown. There's a place over here called Ross's Landing, which was basically just grass into the river. And you'll see in a minute how this has been totally changed. And it's the Tennessee Riverwalk is there. Lasts, I don't know, 15, 20 miles now. It's pretty amazing. There's fountains, waterfalls, a ton of really cool family-friendly activity space. Definitely room for people of all ages. You'll notice some of these pretty cool architectural features around the perimeter of Tennessee Aquarium. When it gets a little bit warmer than it is now, this will have water flowing through it, and there'll be kids playing in here all the time. It actually wraps all the way down here and then all the way in between the two buildings into some pretty cool waterfalls. I'll show you that in a bit. Where that little stream I showed you wraps around, comes down here, all the way to the bottom. And you'll see over here across the river too, that's North Shore. That's where my last video was taken, over there. Coolidge Park is at the end of that bridge. So you can see behind me here is the aquarium. And then here is the new Riverfront. This was initially a huge project undertaken right after the aquarium was built. There are family gathering areas, there are a bunch of benches, there's a Chattanooga Riverwalk or Tennessee Riverwalk that goes from about 10 miles that way to about 15 miles that way, right along the river. Kids, families ride bikes, strollers, all that good stuff. It's really a lot of fun. Right now, caught me by surprise actually a little bit. The water is so high because of so much rain that we've had that typically you would see boats tied up to these concrete pillars here, but obviously that's not possible now. They're underwater. There are fountains that are over in this area that normally are spewing water. They're shut down because they're not underwater, but the water's up to them. And back over here is a huge pier. That's where the Southern Belle is located. Which is a Tennessee riverboat, and it's historic in nature too. It's been in town forever, and they have daily tours that go out. A lot of really cool stuff here. You can't fish from there, but you can dock a boat there, dock your jet skis, come into town, have a drink, eat some good food. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then head on back about your way. This is Old Jotty Bridge, Market Street Bridge over here, and then the Walnut Street Bridge just behind that. That's the pedestrian bridge that I talked about in my last video. And then tons of pretty cool modern housing right up here. So stay tuned. Now what I love about downtown Chattanooga is that everything is super walkable. So if you want to go from the North Shore that I just showed you over by the Walnut Street Bridge, walk across the Walnut Street Bridge all the way to get some ice cream, see the Hunter Museum, we'll talk about that later as well, to walk all the way down to the south side Chattanooga, you can totally do that. If you want to mill around the aquarium, eat all the good restaurants, great seafood, all that good stuff, that's the place to do it too. If you want to hang out the Creative Discovery Museum, the Children's Creative Discovery Museum, that's right down the road too. You can walk there. And if you're ever in a pinch and you're like, I'm tired of walking, Chattanooga has these great electric shuttles that will pick you up at one end and drop you off at the other end, and they're free of charge. It's really a lot of fun. Now I'm walking you up to the Hunter Museum of Classic Art and Contemporary Art. Show you a little bit about the walking bridge, give you a little majestic scenic shots, and then take you back over to the Children's Creative Discovery Museum right around the corner downtown. Now what's really neat about this is that it's super walkable and you'll really enjoy that. All right, now we are in front of the Hunter Museum of American Art. This is the traditional art museum, and then over here is the Contemporary Art Museum. Now, it's the same museum, two totally different vibes though. It's pretty neat is that this one is all traditional paintings, small sculptures, other kind of artworks like that. That one has crazy exhibits sometimes, sculptures, metalworks, paintings, all kinds of good stuff. So if you're in town, this is one of the spots you gotta check out. So now as we're leaving the Hunter Museum, you can see the Walnut Street Bridge right there. Interesting little fact about this walking bridge right here is that it used to be only this metal strip in the middle, and then the rest was completely clear glass. And then you had too many people freaking out. Some people were worried about what might happen. They decided to put these metal grates down. But take a look at this. Doesn't get much better of a view than that. As we're walking down here, you'll see Edwin Hotel. Right up there on top is the Whiskey Thief. It's a great whiskey bar. And here's the entrance to the Walnut Street Bridge. Nation's largest pedestrian bridge right there. I talked about it in my last video. You can see off in the distance Coolidge Park. And if you're wondering what you're gonna do or what you can do to get outside on a beautiful late winter, early spring day like today, this bridge is an option for sure. So people ask me all the time, when you come to Chattanooga, what do you eat? What's downtown? So right over here, Tres Amigos on Market, that's Mexican. Right next to you got 212 Market, which is like a little bit more of an upscale fine dining experience. Then right over here, Puckett's Barbecue. And then you've got Thai right over there, Thai Smile. Good stuff. All right, so downtown life, what do you get? If you're here visiting, you got to check out the aquarium. That's obvious. Right around the corner here is the IMAX. And then the restaurants you can't beat down here. You've got Mellow Mushroom right over here. You've got Big River Bar and Grill right here. Now both of those are not necessarily chains. They're not local restaurants either, but they're amazing. You can see right here, you've got Chattanooga Carriage Company coming behind me. The horse-drawn carriage, you can take one of those rides around town. Right across the street here is High Point Climbing Gym. Now, you're gonna look at this and say, Robert, you're crazy. But I'm telling you, people out here all the time, up here, look. You see that there, all those little pegs? People are out there climbing on that glass wall out here for the whole city to see. It's pretty awesome. Me, I'm a little afraid of heights, not my thing. But my kids love it. And people that come to town, they can't believe that it exists. Inside is a whole climbing gym for all ages. So if you're in town and you're like, my kids are tired of being cooped up in the hotel, or if you're local and you're like, it's been raining for 3 days and I can't get out of my house, can't do anything outside. This is the spot downtown where you can come have a good meal with your family and let your kids get out some energy by doing some indoor rock climbing. It's pretty awesome. I'm gonna keep walking you down the street where we've got the AMC Majestic movie theater, got the big reclining seats in there, and across the street from that is gonna be the Children's Creative Discovery Museum. But just take a look at this city. Is it not beautiful? This right here, folks, you can see the electric shuttle pulling in. And all around town, they have these Chattanooga tourist bicycles. They're e-bikes, so you can rent them, ride all around town. They are power assisted so that you can ride around without getting all nasty before you go eat at great restaurants like Mellow Mushroom or walk inside the aquarium. All right, so we made our way down this street from the aquarium over to the Creative Discovery Museum, which is on the corner of Chestnut and 4th. This museum is pretty cool because it's geared towards kids and families, right? So you can come in here with your family, crawl up the gymnasium type trapeze stuff. They've got a huge water exhibit in here that demonstrates river flow, dams, all that kind of stuff. You've got a fossil dig site in here. You've got an electromagnetic exhibit, all kinds of really good stuff. So if you're in Chattanooga, whether you're visiting or whether you live here, this is a spot where you can bring the family, have some fun. It's low key. Now it gets busy. If you're over here on a Saturday, buckle up, it's gonna be busy. But what I would say is that you don't wanna miss this time with your family. You don't wanna miss this time in the city. And a spot like this is a place where you can really make some memories. And frankly, it's a place you don't really expect to go when you're visiting from out of town. My family's had season tickets here, or annual passes here forever. We like to come down here, have some fun, then go hit up some restaurants, go walk by the river, that kind of stuff. So, you know, whether it's take a trip up to the top of that, up there, again, I'm not a heights guy, but people love it. You can see basically all over the city from there. You can see big swirly slide. This is really just the main exhibit, the main entry area. And then around the corner, they've got a bunch of other really cool exhibits. They do art stuff in there, animation stuff. It's really cool. And they have traveling exhibits too. So occasionally you'll have exhibits from all around the country that travel to different museums. They'll come there, post up for 2 weeks, a month, and then you know, give everybody a chance for something a little bit different. So if you live here and you're like, that museum is getting kind of tired, it doesn't. It's really awesome. So if you get the opportunity to come down here, like I said, whether you're visiting or whether you live local, you got to check out the Creative Discovery Museum. It's a staple of downtown Chattanooga, and I think it's one of the more undiscovered areas for tourists and underappreciated places for locals. So, all right, here we are outside AT&T Field. This is the home of the Chattanooga Lookouts. This is a minor league team for the Cincinnati Reds, and has actually been in Chattanooga since 1930. Originally at Ingle Stadium, which was an old stadium down the road. When it was built for $150,000, it was state-of-the-art facility. And now the team gets to play in this awesome stadium. It seats about 6,500 people. They've got a great pavilion. A lot of times you can host events there, have parties, that kind of thing. So We actually have a client event coming up this summer where we rented out the pavilion in the outfield at Lookout Stadium. And it's going to be a lot of fun. The interesting part about this team is that it's changed hands a couple times. Originally it was the Seattle Mariners, and then became the Minnesota Twins minor league team, and now is the Cincinnati Reds, and has been for a little bit. So if you want a good time, tired of walking, want a place to sit, watch a good ball game, eat some good food, this is where you go. All within walking distance. Downtown, the Aquarium, the bridges, all kinds of good stuff. All right, now we're heading out of downtown, heading back home. Honestly, it's been a little while since I walked around downtown and really got a feel. It was nice to get a feel for what it's like again. You know, it's been a little rainy here lately, and then in the larger picture, it's been pretty decent winter weather, and haven't really had the opportunity to get downtown the way I want. But just reinforces to me, I got to get down here with my family. There's so much to do, so much fun. You know, there's basically an unlimited number of activities that you can do as an individual. If you're into the nightlife thing, looking for good bars, good restaurants, there's plenty of that. I know today was mostly about the things to do as a family and more tourist type stuff. Kind of more of a broad intro to Chattanooga downtown. I will say that there's about 20 things that I left off of our little mini tour today. Anything from the Chattanooga Choo Choo itself, who can forget that? And then, you know, we didn't even broach the topic of Lookout Mountain, Incline Railway, Ruby Falls, all that good stuff. We didn't talk about the South Side. You've got live music venues, killer restaurants on the south side of Chattanooga. And I didn't walk you through the little boutique shops and things like that we've got on the North Shore. If you're looking for information about Coolidge Park and the North Shore, check out my first video, or check out my last video. But it was a great experience today. It reinforces that, you know, in the crazy world that we live in, you come to a place where there's people all around downtown with their families, people riding bikes, hanging out, walking, exercising, jogging up and down the riverfront. That there's a lot more to life than just kind of what we see and hear that goes on all the time. It's really about spending time with each other, making memories, and if you are thinking about living in Chattanooga, moving to Chattanooga, if you live in the Chattanooga area and you just need a little bit of refresher what's awesome about our city, you saw some of that today. And I couldn't be happier to live here. Really excited for the future of our city. And if you want to see more, click the subscribe button and the little bell icon to be notified of future videos. People across the country are really catching on to the awesome thing we've got going here. So, hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you next time.